10-meter by 13-meter lots.
You know what?
Yes.
I'll
What?
be getting a lot of snarky comments again because of this, what we're doing.
Chrissy, where are we today? It's a secret project, and check it out. We have construction materials. We've arrived at a new secret project. You're going to want to stay tuned to hear more about this. This piece of land right here where Chrissy's standing on is owned by Chrissy. This is not our mountain property. Let me just back up. These are small titled lots. It's only 130 square meters, which is about 1,400 square feet roughly. And this particular lot, I think is quite nice. Here, these are marang trees, two different types of marang trees, big trunks. Chrissy's standing right where the back door of a house would be. And these are titled lots, and we're gonna fence these in today. And you're gonna wanna stay tuned for more from the Philippines. This is about 30 minutes from our house.
You know what?
Yes.
I'll
What?
be getting a lot of snarky comments again because of this, what we're doing, this
Well,
project.
Chrissy, we only spent 90,000 pesos to buy each lot. And we have some friends who bought a lot, and your father bought a lot, all out of your own monies. So this is just so... What?
My own money.
Yes. Chrissy's been doing these open source social media investigations, and she's selling those like hotcakes. And here she bought herself a piece of land with 90,000 pesos, which represents about 9 of those open source investigations. So, and just yesterday, you found a ladyboy and 2 fake identification cards for 2 other people. So you're really adding value for men before they come to the Philippines and get shocked that they've been lied to. They can find out ahead of time.
I have something to tell you.
Tell us.
I am becoming an independent woman with a foreigner on the side.
Oh my God, like a
treat.
side of foreigner. Yeah, don't change though. Stay that 1960s Jane Wyatt kind of woman. Okay, so it's quite exciting. This whole, we have, within the family, we have 3 contiguous 130 square meter lots, and the geodesic engineer is just arriving, and he's going to measure out each of the lots, and once he does that, we can fence it. More later. More from the Philippines. Well, Chrissy, while we're here at your new property
Our property.
that you earned money doing social media investigations, let me tell you the story of Stephen from Mississippi, a 25-year Army veteran, currently age 64. And he was a victim of a visa scam. And it's really interesting how it came about. He met a girl online, a Filipino Cupid, and he video chatted her. He got into a good rhythm with video chat. And after about 20 days of video chatting, she never hinted for money. She never asked for money. He came up with the idea in his own mind. You know, wouldn't it be nice if you could visit the United States instead of me? Because he was a little claustrophobic, and he didn't like the idea of going on a giant transatlantic flight. And he suggested, boy, it'd be awesome if you could come visit America. And she's like, oh yeah, absolutely. Now, she had a job as a retail clerk in a store, and she had a boarding house. And
Like she owned the
no,
boarding house?
she had a room in a boarding house. My bad. And so she jumped right on it. She said she'd look into it, and she said, yeah, absolutely, I need to apply for a visa. And they just started talking about this. And sure enough, the next day, she shocked him and said, I quit my job.
Oh.
I quit my job because I'm going to come to America. I'm going to get my visa, and I'm going to go to Manila. And she says, no, you don't need to send any money. I'm going to do it all myself. You know, I'm a working girl. I'm going to get to Manila. I'm going to get to the embassy and I'll get my
Really?
visa. Yeah, and Stephen didn't have any idea that it's very, very difficult for a woman to get a tourist visa. Now, if you're a banker or if you're
Politician.
politician, helicopter overhead here. If you've got you're VP HR of some big company, if there's a conference, as it is, we've said this before, only 26% of married Filipinas married to American men get approved for tourist visas. If they own property, if they have children here in the Philippines, if they have a good job and they have a lot of money in the bank, they might be one of the 26%. But just a tourist visa from a girl with no home, no automobile, no really prominent corporate job, the chance would be zero.
And if somebody could, well, say they did it or they can do it, it's a red flag.
Yeah, and so this is called the visa scam, and it's so interesting how it came about because it was Steven's idea to suggest that she get a tourist visa. He had no idea. Well, she quits her job, and he's like shocked that she's that committed to come see him, but she doesn't think anything of it. And then the next day, um, she tells him she needs money for her boarding room. It's not much money. It's only 2,500 pesos, like $40. So he sends money. First time he ever sent her money. Never had she asked for money before. So, okay, no problem. He sends the $40. But then 3 days later, she writes him and she says she's scheduled, she bought her own airplane ticket to Manila, but she's researched it and she needs 6,000 US dollars.
For the airplane ticket?
No, for money in the bank. See, because if you don't have like
Ah.
$6,000 in a bank account, you're never going to get a tourist visa. So she had figured it out that, oh, I need this money in the bank to apply. I'll never get approved if I don't have money in the bank because I don't own a car, I don't own a house, and I'm not a big corporate job person. She has no children. And he's like, oh my God, what did I create? I created this monster. She quit her job. I started sending her money for her boarding room, but now she wants 600,000.
Did he send the 600?
No, he's a very frequent viewer of our channel, and we preach the golden rule, Chrissy, which is
Don't share the gold,
don't
don't send
right.
money.
So he broke the rule to pay for her rent for the boarding room, but he didn't send the money, the $6,000. And what do you think happened next?
She blocked him?
She blocked him. She ghosted him. And that was that. And but she did reappear asking for more money at a later date. She did come back and claim that she was broke without a job. She needed help. And he just blocked her and moved on. Now, Chrissy, this is so interesting. We have a really good friend who came to our wedding, gave us a golf putter that we may have shown people. And he got married very recently to a beautiful woman in Taguig, next to Makati, and they plan to go to the United States. And they got a visa agency to help, and they coached her, and she got approved for a tourist visa. And it was so interesting. It was just a coincidence, but he was sending us images of the approval process on WhatsApp
To help us.
because yeah, we were thinking about bringing Chrissy to America in March for a wedding, and he knew we were going to be going down this same process. So she mentioned that the 8 women in front of her all got rejected, but she got approved. They were so happy, and this agency coached her. So he sent us a copy of the visa, her visa, and we had a copy of it. And he sent us a letter she got the day after. So when you get approved, they don't hand you anything in writing saying you're approved, but the next day you get an email with an authorization letter. I'm not sure what that number is called. So we had this, and sure enough, Chrissy gets a client who wants a social media investigation. Quite often, those involve sharing of passport photos, work IDs, and the client had also run into this visa scam. Now, this individual was told by his girl that she'd already gone to Manila on her own dime. She already had the appointment
And approved.
and she was already approved for the visa. And we're sitting there going, wait a minute, this is not likely. This can't be. And he said, well, she didn't ask for any money. She went to the embassy, she got the visa approved, and
She just asked for the plane ticket, which is 10,000 pesos.
yeah, right. So not yet. She hadn't asked for the money yet for the plane ticket. So we said to him, "Well, that sounds quite unlikely. Can she send a copy of the visa? Does she got a well? She doesn't have the visa yet.
Just the approval certificate or something.
The approval certificate. I think he had given her money for a passport application like a month or two before. So he had shared a little bit of money with. Anyway, so he says he asks her for a copy of the visa. She says, "Well, she doesn't have it yet. It's too soon. It takes a week or two," which is accurate. It takes a week or two. Just that night, my friend sent me the authorization letter, which you get 24 hours after visiting the embassy. We said, "Can you ask her for a copy of the authorization email," which would have come to her 24 hours after her visit to the embassy. Well, crickets for 2 days, total crickets. He calls her up again, and she sends him a visa, an actual visa, except it's not attached. Usually when you get a visa, you have to leave your passport, and with adhesive, they stick it to one page of the passport. So we got a visa, and Chrissy, you took a look at it, and what did you decide?
It's fake.
It was fake, and it was easy to see that it was fake. And we had a copy of our friend's visa. Now, we didn't share our friend's visa with anybody, but we could use a one-to-one comparison of what a real visa with adhesive put on the page looks like. There were 3 or 4 irregularities. And yeah, so this is a real common scam here in the Philippines. It's called the visa scam. We had another version of this where a woman claimed to be an OFW in China. And her story was that she couldn't use her smartphone to video chat. That this man got no video chat for weeks and weeks. He got crazy good pictures. And her story was that the previous nanny had dropped the kid on his head while fiddling with her cell phone, so that the Chinese matron of the house had a rule: she locked up the Filipino cell phones, so they couldn't play on their cell phone when they were supposed to be working. But she had an old IBM computer, which she allowed the nanny to use, and she was on Filipino Cupid supposedly, and she was able to text only. And this is something we hear quite often, where people come up with these ridiculous excuses. This one's a little bit believable. I could imagine this. However, they do get one afternoon off a month, and there's always a park, no matter how small the town is in China. There's always a park where Filipinos gather on Sunday afternoon, and within a month she'd be able to borrow a cell phone or go there or go to a mall and get free Wi-Fi. So anyway, but she said, "I have a passport and I have a visa," and this is unbearable working for this Chinese woman. "Send me an airplane ticket to Europe, and I'll meet you there." And he checked with us first and said, "Guys, what do you think?" And we called BS. And we said, "Well, she says she has a passport. Let's get a copy of the passport." And this was, Chrissy, how many passports have been shared with us at this point?
I can't count it already. There's a lot
27, 26, maybe 6 or 7 of them have been real passports. These women share documents and passports so readily, thinking that foreign men have no clue, and most don't, but if they have Chrissy to take a look at the document, and we have originals of many of these documents. Chrissy has a passport, she has an identification card, a Phil Health card, and even a month ago, Chrissy, we had a woman who claimed to be a nurse, and she had a work badge, which was a little unreadable, but then she had a name badge also, which was kind of odd. The kind of name badge, like if you were at a conference, they give you a name badge, and her name was very, very readable. But Chrissy, what about the letter N on that badge was suspicious?
I found out that the letters of the name is on the top of the stethoscope or something.
Right. The stethoscope had black
because she
tubing.
get like a stethoscope thing like this, a cord, but then I look at closely to the name, and the letter N is on the top of the stethoscope. So it means the name there, the letter was just edited, put into the
they just put the name and the badge. They could have in Photoshop. They could have layered the name underneath the stethoscope, but
they're not that good.
They weren't that good.
They're not as good editors as me.
And I didn't see it. I looked really carefully, and I thought it was odd. There were 2 name badges, and you couldn't read anything on the one. But Chrissy looked at it real hard and found it was counterfeit. So
You know,
this is, yeah, go ahead, Chrissy.
yeah. When it comes to visa scam, I would really think that it's a good move for a scammer, especially if you don't know about the policies and the rules of getting a US visa in the Philippines, because at the very beginning they will represent to take all the expenses, but it's a lie, of course. They will take all the expenses going to Manila for the interview, for the plane ticket. They think they will tell you that they're gonna shoulder, but then the next move will be it always be needing a money in the bank, and not just like small amount of money, but it should be like big money to be put a, yeah, a
airline
deposit
ticket, an airline
as
ticket.
well.
And a good,
Yes.
this is a good rule of thumb. You don't ever send money for a woman to purchase something. You would, if you were going to purchase an airline ticket, you would purchase it yourself
Yeah.
directly from the airline and get a
ID of her.
yeah, well, she would have to share her ID. You can't get a ticket,
Yeah.
but you would give her the confirmation number so she could board the plane. You would never give cash to somebody you'd never met. This is the fundamental rule. Never, ever, ever give cash to somebody you haven't met. Now, Chrissy, recently we've met men who've lost almost 150,000 US dollars. We met another man who lost 80,000 US dollars. And we're going to do another video coming up soon, which outlines the 10 most common scams. The visa scam is one of the most common. You know, little scams like needing money for load. Oh, I can't video, I can't video. It only takes 20 pesos to walk out your front door to the nearest sorry store and get hours of unlimited Wi-Fi. It's 2025. It's very odd or unusual that somebody wouldn't be able to video chat using a 20 peso coin at the neighborhood sorry. Don't you agree, Chrissy?
I agree. I would say a woman that got to put her profile in the dating site but not having the tools to video call, video chat, it's just a total scam. It's a total BS.
Yeah. And this is something that we talked about before. You know, we've consulted with almost 500 men at this point in the last 16 months. And we track a lot of data. And Chrissy, what is the single biggest indicator that you are out over your skis and you might just crash hard?
When you don't video call with a woman, and if they are going to send you a what it goes Photoshop documents, that's really like the dead end.
Yeah, it could be gold bars, it could be crypto, it could be jewelry, it could be rent, it could be illness of the grandmother. We're gonna do a whole video where we go into the top 10 scams. But Chrissy's mentions the one thing that is the highest correlation to trouble: lack of high quality video chat. Not just lack of video chat, high quality, consistent, regular video chat. If you're not talking a couple of hours a day, morning and evening, if she's not jealous, if she's not noticing when you wake up, when you go to bed, if she doesn't want a video chat for an hour in the morning and an hour at night, something doesn't quite feel right. And when the men get back to us and they tell us they broke up, they tell us they figured out there was something wrong, or they more often than not admit that they gave thousands of dollars before they figured out something was wrong. And then, Chrissy, just yesterday, you found yet another ladyboy. And what was the situation with that video chat? The person was video chatting, actually.
Video chatting.
They were video chatting, but only for about 7 or 8 days. And it took Chrissy about an hour to figure it out. But sure enough, there it was. Ladyboy Pageants, another Facebook page with 12,000, 15,000 followers. Sure enough, it was right there to be found. It's in public. Nobody is breaking in any back doors. There's no locks being picked. There's nothing unethical or moral being done. But the power of having Chrissy go in and investigate a woman's background, which is in public, and it could be she's married, she has more children that she's admitting to, she has a different type of job than she spoke of, someone else is paying for her rent. All these things are coming out about 50% of the time. So it's about 50-50. Wouldn't you say, Chrissy? Half the women, they pass in flying colors, and the other half crash and burn.
Well, I will always put this reminder. If you're talking to someone and they can only send you a lot of pretty pictures, don't believe that it's them until you will see them in video call. Clear video call, high quality.
But even the video call could be a ladyboy. Some of these ladyboys are quite pretty. We have a horse here on the adjacent property. We're here taking surveys, and we're going to build a fence around the land. Somebody did this up the hill with their land ahead of us and marked it off. We're going to do a similar thing down this stretch right here. And once it's surveyed, the guys will start putting up fence posts and private property signs. The bongo truck is getting some use and earning its keep. My friend just bought a brand new Hilux. Got to carry up the cement. Just kind of staging everything here. The survey crew is finally starting to mark out the boundaries here. They're looking for some of these geodesic markers that have been put in here before. Well, it turned out the property was not exactly where we thought it was. It's just about 8 meters closer to where I'm standing, all the lots. Chrissy's lot starts, that's the front, right there. In the back are these yellow flags right here. And they're looking for these markers. Should be able to set the fence posts here in a half hour. We actually thought the land went right up to where the girls are, but this is a free space, so to speak. Well, they picked up the flags that they laid down last hour. They are digging one monument there. It's a sure spot, but there's some confusion, and our workers have yet to dig or put up any posts, and it's almost noon. So the brain trust is over here at this table with a laptop that's getting a low battery. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Well, the rain has stopped and we're making some progress here. So we have 4 lots starting here, going, this is actually the blue tent. So first lot starts here, goes to by the blue tent. Next lot here, and here. That one's actually in the middle of the lot, and here, and then that's the last lot down there. So it's 50 meters from there, that last one, all the way to this one. And then it's 13 meters across, 39, 42 feet actually, I think. There's the far post, and it's 50 meters to this far post here. And it's a beautiful overlooking here. One day we get these trees cleared out maybe. But yeah, so we're gonna fence it, claim it, it's been paid for. There you go. Well, we're back 24 hours later, and the guys have been putting up a fence, part concrete, part cocoa lumber. Let's figure out what we got here. Okay, so this is 4 lots, 4 10-meter by 13-meter lots. It's all pretty much fenced in. Chrissy's stepfather and one of the workers from the mountains. Chrissy, what do you say?
It looks good. We forgot to buy a U-nails to put on the wood.
Did they go to the hardware store?
Not yet.
Okay. Yeah, maybe a hammer. Yeah, it's lunchtime here in the mountains, and let's check it out. Look at this beautiful view back here. Chrissy, hold that. So if we could just remove some of these banana trees. Really good overlooking view. So we got barbed wire, 5 strands are in. The posts are cemented from yesterday. pretty damn solid after a day. And here, it looks like a corral for a horse, but these are actually 5 lots. Chrissy's sister bought a second one, actually about an hour ago. She paid for it. We fenced it in from yesterday. And yeah, look at this. This is Chrissy's lot right here. Look at that spectacular view. And could be even better if we opened it up a little bit. So this is actually going to be a subdivision. It's no place I don't think Chrissy would ever want to live. There's going to be over 100 homes in here. And one day there's going to be probably about 500 roosters. So yeah, so this is 4 lots. And there'll be a street running right in front of this post right here. There'll actually be a road, and the front of the homes will be along this road here. You can see the depth is about 42 feet in depth, and the lot. So here's the fence post here. So this is the 5th lot of lot 5. It's the 4th one that was purchased by the family. And this is the boundary right here. So you can see it's 42 feet wide and about 34 feet in depth. And here in the Philippines, they have 0 lot lines. So you can build right up to your lot line. And this is Chrissy's lot right here. And yeah, right up on the ridge. And we just wanted to fence it in now that we own it. It's titled land. Again, Chrissy's sister, she worked almost 9 years in a frozen food factory in Manila and saved up a little bit of money. And Chrissy's father has been working for me for well over a year, and he's been saving his pennies, pesos, and he bought the very first lot right here. This one right here. He wanted to be close to the road because one day he's going to have a sorry. We're going to come back and put some private property signs up, and there's a little bit more work. We have to go get some attachments for these cocoa lumbers to put the barbed wire on. But there it is. It's like, stay off our property. God only knows what they're going to do with it. But we have some family members that we kind of left behind 5 hours south. And one day maybe they would live here. I know Popsy's going to build a house right here in the first spot. And one day he's going to want to have a store right here. In the Philippines, there's no real zoning. This land over here by these trees, this is commercial. So, but I think anybody could open a store. So Chrissy, tell us, what do you plan to do with this piece of property you bought, you and your sisters and your father?
Short term or long term?
Well, I don't know. Tell the people. The inquiring minds want to know.
Well, for the meantime, we are like just securing the land, so that we can have a lot of time to think of what we're gonna do with this. But partially, I am thinking that I will put my sister and brother here in this property, just for them to have a, what they call this, a stable place to stay, because in our place in Pagadian, it's a squatters area, and anytime they can just be kicked out from there. While here, I don't have plans to kick them out, but at least somebody can take care of my property here. And in the long term, maybe I can make like a boutique in this area, because there's gonna be hundreds of
this whole area
homes in here.
There's a subdivision plan that calls for about 150 homes up on this hillside here. And the entrance is right down there by that big palm tree.
So maybe long term I can make a little business in here that will be managed by my siblings as well. It can help them have their livelihood. So yeah, that's my plan for now.
If you think you have found a unicorn, if you've been video chatting, you still might want to not skip level 3 of the video game, How to Meet a Filipina, which is to check her social media. We offer a 13-page guide, Chrissy. It's the same step-by-step process you take. Now, you can read the language, and you have an amazing ability to follow the cookies and the breadcrumbs. But if they want to do it themselves, just write us at
flymetothephilippines@gmail.com.
We'll send you that 13-page PDF. And if you're interested in having Chrissy do it for you, it takes about 72 hours. Write us at Fly Me to the Philippines or go to our consultation calendar. Chrissy can be scheduled right there with a credit card payment. Till next time.
Cheers to my new property. Wait for another episode of Fly Me to the Philippines.